Hello friends, today we are just going to discuss about diabetes. As we all know that the global burden of diabetes is increasing day by day, and more people are getting diabetes due to sedentary lifestyle or bad lifestyle or inactive lifestyle. So we will have to be very conscious about diabetes. So let's discuss about the symptoms, diagnostic criteria and the tests performed in diabetes. So first of all, I just want to tell you that all the criteria, all the guidelines are determined by ADA, that is American Diabetes Association, um, which determines all the guidelines for diabetes, and all the practitioners who practices in diabetology or endocrinology or who treat diabetes always follow the treatment guidelines of ADA, American Diabetes Association. This is the body which regulates all guidelines and all trials of diabetes. Uh, if we talk about the test, so the first test for the diabetic person is A1C, HbA1c. This test measure your blood sugar for the past 2 to 3 months, and the advantage of this test is that you don't have to fast or drink anything for a long time. The diabetes diagnostic criteria is A1C is greater than or equal to 6.5. If the A1C is greater than or equal to 6.5, then we declare it diabetes. The normal criteria for diabetes for A1C is less than 5.7, and 5.7 to 6.4 is considered as pre-diabetes, and for diabetes it is considered as 6.5 or greater. Except A1C, there is another test which is called fasting plasma glucose or FPG. Fasting plasma glucose or FPG. This test generally checks your fasting blood sugar levels, and fasting means not having anything or not eating anything for at least 8 hours before the test, except water. You can take water in the meantime, but not taking anything except water for 8 hours. Then we call it fasting plasma glucose. This test is usually done first in the morning before breakfast. Diabetes is diagnosed at fasting blood sugar of greater than or equal to 126 milligram per deciliter. This value is very important, that is 126 milligram per deciliter. If the blood sugar is greater than 126, then it means the person is diabetic, and that is provisional diagnosis of diabetes. If the blood sugar is less than 100 milligram per deciliter, that is considered as normal. If the blood sugar is between 100 milligram to 125 milligram per deciliter, that is considered as pre-diabetes, and greater than or equal to 126 is considered as diabetes. There is another test for diabetes, that is OGTT, oral glucose tolerance test. Oral glucose tolerance test. The OGTT is a 2-hour test that checks your blood sugar levels before and 2 hours after you drink a special sweet drink. Generally we give 75 gram anhydrous glucose before testing, and then the doctor performs OGTT. It's a very special test, so it should be performed in the clinic of a doctor only. Diagnostic criteria for OGTT is that normal is less than 140 milligram per deciliter, and pre-diabetes is generally 140 milligram to 199 milligram per deciliter, and we declare diabetes at 200 milligram per deciliter or higher than this. Then there is another test which is called random RBS, random blood sugar or random plasma glucose test. So this test can be done any time of the day when you have severe diabetes symptoms. When you have severe diabetes symptoms like shaking, sweating, and excessive speech or excessive fatigue, then this test can be performed to know your blood sugar levels. Diabetes is diagnosed at blood sugar of greater than or equal to 20 200 milligram per deciliter. Then there is another condition which is called pre-diabetes. So what is pre-diabetes? Before diabetes, there is a condition which is called pre-diabetes. In this condition, the patient cannot be called diabetic because he has less blood glucose levels as the diabetics have, but his or her blood sugar levels are too high to consider as normal. So before developing type 2 diabetes, most of the people just develop a condition which is called pre-diabetes, and most of the doctors considered impaired glucose tolerance (IGT) or impaired glucose fasting, that is IFG, depending on what test was used when it was detected. This condition, I mean pre-diabetes condition, puts you at a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease in the near future. So if you are pre-diabetic, then you will have to be very sure and you will have to be very conscious that you are on a good lifestyle. Symptoms, if we talk about the symptoms of pre-diabetes, generally there are no symptoms and most of the people do not know that they have pre-diabetes, but some people may feel some polyuria or polydipsia, means frequent urination or excessive thirst. If you have pre-diabetes, then you should check your blood sugar at regular intervals, and you should check for type 2 diabetes every 1 to 2 years, because if you are pre-diabetic, then there's a high risk of getting diabetes. So you should be very conscious about your glucose levels. What is the criteria for diabetes? I mean pre-diabetes. The A1C of 5.7 to 6.4 is considered as pre-diabetes. Fasting blood sugar is 100 to 125 milligram per deciliter is considered as pre-diabetes category. And oral glucose tolerance test (OGTT), 2 hours blood sugar of 140 milligram per deciliter to 199, means 199 milligram per deciliter is generally considered as pre-diabetes. So what can we do to avoid diabetes in case of pre-diabetics? Most of the people will not develop type 2 diabetes if they generally change their lifestyle or if they just modify their lifestyle. For some people with pre-diabetes, early treatment can actually return blood sugar levels if they just be conscious and they can achieve normal range. Research shows that you can lower your risk of diabetes mellitus by 58% by losing 7% of total body weight. It is the first line treatment of ADA, American Diabetes Association, that losing 7% of total body weight can reverse pre-diabetes or reduce the risk of getting type 2 diabetes. If you are very active, like such as brisk walking 30 minutes a day, if you are walking for 30 minutes a day, then you can lower your risk of getting diabetes in the near future. If you have ideal body weight, then you don't have to worry for getting diabetes. Losing even 10 to 15 pounds can make a huge difference in the conditions. So it's always necessary that we just be conscious and be aware of our blood sugar levels. It will be very beneficial for not only for diabetes, but we can avoid the risk factor for cardiovascular diseases as well. So thank you so much, friends. In the next video, I am just going to give you some more important informations. So thank you so much. Nice to see you.